Hello. I think this will be fine. Okay. First of all, hello. It is a Thursday in April. I can't remember the day. And as I was setting up the tripod, these two people came with four wheelers. I think one of them died, so they left one there. Um, as I mentioned, it's Thursday. Uh, and I have to say, I think Tuesdays and Thursdays are the hardest days of my week, and they're hard because I recently moved from Houston to another town up north, like an hour, I would say. And then I work an hour that direction, west. I work an I work an hour west. Um and my Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays are pretty chill. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, those are my gym days. So I'll wake up, I'll go to the gym. Well, I'll go to work first, and I'll go to the gym. And then by the time I leave the gym and get home, shower, eat, it's usually like 9 or 10. So then I can play a couple video games or fucking lollygag, whatever I want to do, right? Um, but Tuesdays and Thursdays, I just have work, and I live an hour from both my job and Houston. So it usually hits me on the drive home from work when I'm like, damn, I got nothing to do, right? And that's usually not bad. People always want days where they don't have anything to do. But I think for me, it's also that when I have nothing to do, I kind of feel like a bum, you know. Um, and like I'm struggling with. I've never had like a long distance relationship of any kind, friendship, romantic relationship, yada yada yada. But I would consider where I am and where my friends are medium distance. 'Cause they're like an hour ish away, which isn't terrible. But I think what makes medium distance relationships just as hard as long distance relationships, in my opinion, uneducated, is the fact that they're so close, but they're so far. You know what I mean? Because, like, okay, let's say work, right? Work. It's 4:30. My friends are like, hey, we're going to have dinner at 7 somewhere in Houston. I'd be like, okay, cool. An hour home, 5:30 ish. An hour to Houston, another hour ish. Spend a lovely, fantastic time with my friends, right? But then hour back home, and it's like, fuck. Um, and when I moved up here originally, I thought I would be pretty decent with it. Sorry, it's a car. Of course, me recording my first video next to a fucking highway. Um, what was I saying? Yeah, it's like I would have the loveliest time. Oh, I remember what I was saying. When I first moved up, when I first moved up here, I was pretty set on being like, okay, I love my friends. I'll drive an hour to Houston, la 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 la, come back. But it's gotten to this point where I will do nothing all Saturday, or like my Saturday will be completely empty. And then my friends are like, oh, hey, we're doing something at like 2. And I'm like, bet I will be there. But that also means I have to leave here at 1, drive all the way over down to Houston, and then like hang out with my friends. Like I said it before, lovely time, fantastic time. I'm probably having the time of my life. But then plans end at like, let's say like 5, and then you know I kind of don't have anything else going on in Houston. I have to drive all the way back here, which is another hour, which is kind of like, it's not that I wouldn't want to commit the time, because I would. I don't have that much time. Well, no human being has that much time in a day to commit 2 hours of transit. Especially like fully, like full time employed. I gotta come home. I gotta feed my cat, my little baby, and so it's like this weird limbo of like they're so close but they're so far. They're like at the top. They're like right out of reach. Like my hand is stretched out. Right. I don't know how the depth perception is. I'm right here. My hands are stretched out. My friends right there teasing me like a fucking carrot on a stick in front of a pig. So it's like fuck. They're so close, but like at the same time, it's like holy shit. If I want to go to Houston, I have to essentially plan a whole day down in Houston to leave in the morning, spend all day, and then come back at night to kind of make it worth it. Which I have no problem with, but it's just like things don't always line up like that. You're not gonna have plans every single weekend all day. And I did not realize how much I needed my friends and my community like so close until I got up here and realized how far I was. Because this is no shade. This is no begging. This is no pity party, whatever, right? Sometimes I'll see my friends and they'll be out, two or three of them in Houston, like on a random Wednesday, and I'll be at home, or like on a Tuesday or Thursday, I'll be at home and I'll be like, damn, I wish I was invitable. I mean, obviously I am invitable because you're always, open for an invite, but it's like they know that I live an hour away, so they're less inclined to ask me to come hang out, because why would you want to, you know? So it's like there's low key a little bit of jealousy and a little bit of sadness. I'm like, wait, I live an hour away, blah blah blah. But that's not even their fault. Um, but yeah, it's like there's this weird feeling of like not. I mean, and listen, who knows if they even want to hang out with me? Maybe I'm a annoying dunce, okay? But I guess for those that do want to hang out with me, it's hard to not be able to hang out on a whim, or like today, Thursday, to like get home at a reasonable time, like 30 minutes, because I live 30 minutes from my house, and be like, oh, hey guys, let's go get dinner, and then it be doable. Because it's not, it takes a lot of planning and a lot of, like, we're getting to that age. We're old. We're in our 20s. We're getting to that point where people got shit going on. So, I can't just spur of the moment, hey, yeah, yada, yada, yada. Um, but yeah, and Tuesdays and Thursdays are kind of like Jesus. Tuesdays and Thursdays are kind of like my low days of the week. Like I'm pretty high energy Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because I get to hang out with my friends and all that. Or like Sundays are my rest days, so I know I'm gonna stay home. But Tuesdays and Thursdays are kind of like lulls in like a good time. You know what I mean? And that's not bad. You're not gonna have great or good days every day, but it's kind of different because it's kind of out of my control. You know that I'm in my current position. That's all I'm trying to say. It's just hard, because like it's so inconvenient. Um, but yeah, and it's like, don't get me wrong, I have no issue with having bad days. As somebody that dabbles in a little bit of the depression, the thoughts of doom. I'm used to having bad days. But I guess it's Tuesdays and Thursdays where I really feel like I want to do something and I can't. That kind of like, damn, that sucks. And then it's kind of redundant because tomorrow, Friday, the next day, Saturday, I'm probably going to have a great time. I'm probably going to hang out with my friends. I'm going to do some stuff. I'm going to feel good. So today will not matter, but it's kind of like next Tuesday, I'm going to think back to today and then think back to next Thursday. It just adds another sheet to the pile of paper that's like, you know, and like paper is so thin, so it doesn't, you put 10 sheets on the paper, 10 sheets of floor. Jesus Christ. If you put 10 sheets of paper on the floor, you're not gonna, you're not gonna notice it. But put like 300, like right here, you're gonna kick it, So it's kind of hard, but still coming to terms with the fact that things like that are out of my control, and I kind of just have to take these days as they come because I can't do anything about it. And there's no point of stressing about it if I can't do anything about it. Um, I mean, don't get me wrong, I will be moving soon, closer, hopefully. So like, yippee! But it's I don't want to wait that long. You know what I mean? Um, I could move out sooner, but there's some factors, obviously. The housing crisis, the economy. I'm severely underpaid. Um, but yeah, it can't come soon enough. And I want it to be here sooner so I can be around the people I love and care about and that I have a good time with, and it not be not me not being able to hang out with them simply because of distance, not because of availability. You know, to be able to be like, yeah, it's a Tuesday, I got nothing going on. Yo, let's go get dinner. Let's go get some ice cream. Let's go. Yo, I just found this fucking mini golf place that's fucking dope as hell. Indoor mini golf, yada yada yada. And to be able to be like, yeah, we can do that. But I mean, like I said, all in all, I guess it's a learning experience, learning curve, life lesson, whatever you want to call it. Some things are just out of your control. Um, yeah, I don't know how long I've been talking, but it's getting kind of dark. Uh, maybe I shouldn't have recorded so late. Huh? I was taking pictures of the lake. I'm not gonna lie. Um, but yeah, I guess yeah, that's it for now. Entry one, lulls in the week, but we move because they are a part of life, and we must come to terms with there are some things that just happen and are out of your control. And what can you do? There's nothing wrong with that. As hard as it is, there's nothing wrong with that. Um, but yeah, if you have long enough, I need to get back inside before some coyotes eat me or something. I don't know. I live in the middle of nowhere. Obviously, I live in the middle of nowhere. So I guess I'll call it here. If you stayed until the end, I really appreciate it. If you feel some type of way like I do, you're not alone. And, days will get better, I guess. Okay. Bye bye.